So, hey Aries, my name is Chris, and this is your beautiful reading for whenever you find it, somewhere in 2026, I might add. So, because 2026 is a freaking seismic shift here, and it's not the end of the old, it's the beginning of the new, and sure, it's a transition, and sure, the world is still messy, and sure, it will be not clear-cut from one to the other, but it's a much more supportive, open frequency where you can create what you love. There's the King of Pentacles here lurking. Create what you love. That's the Queen of Wands. Create what you're passionate about and co-create with your subconsciousness. That's the joy. There need to be joy and happiness. I said this at pretty much at all the readings here in the summer 2026. There needs to be joy. You need to work with your passion and with your joy. So joyful, happy creation. And let's just deal some cards more here. The Queen of Wands is also about subconscious energy, so working and tidying up your subconsciousness in order to do so. There is heartache, heartbreak. There is the Hanged Man, right? Trauma, I would say. That's pretty much what it is. Let's just see what else we got. Yeah, the Eight of Cups. So how you deal with the world, basically. That's the Eight of Cups and the Five of Wands. So not taking everything so freaking serious. It's not the Five of Swords, it's the Five of Wands. So it's a training situation, it's not a fight. Five of Swords is a very dirty fight that has come to an end. When conflict arises or something, try not to take it too serious. Try to take it as some sort of training and things that you can handle and that you can learn from. And if that's your approach, you're pretty much the Nine of Cups here. So you don't need to be the King of Pentacles. You just do what you love. And of course, life will not be without resistance. Life will not be without disappointments, of course. But if you keep doing what you love, you're in this beautiful creation, with your subconsciousness, with what you love, with what makes sense to you, with what you are passionate about. King of Cups is here as well, and the Seven of Wands, standing your ground. And standing your ground is coming closer to that story here. So traumatization, heartache, heartbreak, disappointment, being in a shitty situation, maybe narcissistic abuse, maybe abandonment, maybe whatever. There's the Death card as well. So this is over, but when we are traumatized, when we go through deep shit, right, then this sticks with us for a while. It's not just over and then we just go on and shrug our shoulders, but it is, it has a hold on us. When you're in a relationship and that breaks apart, something like that. So standing up against that, in the sense that you're not allowing yourself to be defined by trauma or disappointment or whatever went wrong, but rising above it. That's the King of Cups, being emotionally mature, I would say, not denying these feelings, right, but recognizing them and working with them, not negating them, but transcending and integrating them. That means to acknowledge them for what they are, but choosing to lift your head, to raise your head, to look towards the sun, to look towards your joyful, passionate, happy creation that you got going here. And whenever there's a setback, whenever there's resistance, not falling back into resentment and pain and, oh my God, the world is so bad and everything is evil and bad and no. That is stagnation, that is the Hanged Man, that is a trauma response. Being self-compassionate to yourself in the sense that you acknowledge that, right? Yes, there has been shit in the past, but if I go there and dwell in that shit, that's not serving purpose. This will manifest not good stuff if I'm constantly circling around that. So being mature enough to stand up for yourself and say, yes, there is that obviously in the past, right? Maybe you still got to some extent a broken heart or something like that. You know, when I say que sera, that sounds awful, but you know, that's kind of it. So you have to deal with it. And what I'm trying to tell you is that in 2026, you have the maturity, the emotional maturity, and the passion and willingness to go forward. You know, one's energy is also willpower. So you want to go to that happy place where you create from the well of your subconscious, from the well of your talents, doing what you love, inspired by your talents, inspired by your subconsciousness. And in order to do that joyful, happily, what I am seeing you doing here, you have to work with that, right? And not get stuck on it, but work with it. How do you work with it? Daily meditation, daily breath work. Whenever you are in that frequency, do breath work. So you do 10 seconds in, 20 seconds out, or you do whatever you can do comfortably, but you should make sure that the out breath, you're really pushing out the air at the end, right? Not that you get dizzy or anything, but you should really push it out at the end. So make it 10 in and 20 out, make it 9 or 8, 18, 16 out, whatever. The out breath should be 2 times that of the in breath. And then you do meditation. 5 minutes meditation, 5 minutes breath work. If you have never done it, you can do that. If you can, you know, write a comment or, I don't know, scroll around before bed, you got 10 minutes in your day to do breathwork and meditation instead. That in itself is pretty transformative when it comes to drama and dealing with shit like that, right? And not getting stuck with it, but rising about it, standing your ground. And I see you very successfully doing that, right? Queen of Wands, Knight of Cups, and the celebration here with the Three of Cups. Maybe even meeting good people who do the same or have been through the same. Yeah, that's beautiful. And 2 more cards. This is really, there's the Death card and there's the Page of Cups, right? And the Death card, let's just put the Death card to the Hanged Man and the Tree of Swords and the, yeah, there's the Death card, Tree of Swords, Hanged Man, Death card now. And that is also what's showing up all the freaking time in these 2026 readings. Doing what you love, no matter what it is. It doesn't need to be grandiose. Maybe you start a YouTube channel yourself, right? So we got 200 followers on this channel, on my channel here, right? I think I'm at 210 right now. So that's not a lot, and I've been doing this for almost a year, but you know what? I like to do it, right? That's kind of counterintuitive for people who only look at the external validation or the external outcome. So I'm not making any money with it. I'm spending time with it. Why? Because I love to do it. That's the Page of Cups, doing what you love. And that might be unexpected, right? There's a little fish lurking out of that cup. You know, just do it. Do what you love. And make sure that that is an essential part of your life. There's a steadiness here, practicality, steadiness, bottom of the deck as well. So, you know, you don't need external validation when it comes to things that you love. You can write books that nobody reads. That's okay. Write books that nobody reads. You know what books nobody read? Hegel, for example, or most of the philosophers wrote books that nobody read at their time, but 100 years later, maybe somebody reads it. And if not, so what? It's about joyful creation. It's about doing what you love. It's about your own joy while you're doing it. And that is its reward in itself, right? And carving out with all the practicality and down to earthness, so to speak, carve out time and space to do that, to joyfully create something that you love and makes sense to you. And you got talents, you got things that make sense, maybe translate in financial success and things like that. And then there are things that are probably not. So, you know, I still make these videos. I still make these readings. Why? Because I love to do that. I love to sit here and talk about stuff. And that's kind of therapeutic and healing for myself as well. So I keep doing it. Nonetheless, the external result, basically. And this is the advice that I can give you for 2026. Do what you love and heal yourself by doing what you love, right? By letting trauma, resentment and pain, allow it to be there when it comes up, but don't feed it. Don't, roll around in it, Don't marinate yourself in it, right? If it arises, and then it's okay, and let it be and accept it and sit with it and breathe through it, literally, breathwork, when it arises, releasing negativity, that's a practice. And then do meditation and do that every day, and you're in this cups and wands energy, right? You got the King of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Nine of Cups, you got the Queen of Wands. And that doing what you love is healing in itself, and that's how you stand up to trauma, I guess, right? Some practicality, some job that pays the bills, right? And then doing what you love. And that's all I got, and I hope it resonates with you. If it does, share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it, and hopefully see you next time. Now, ciao.